In this video, we're going to go over all the features that are available to you in the Pro tier of the Karate Visual Studio Code plugin. Let's take a look at all the features on offer. The Pro tier of the plugin contains the following features: Autocomplete for Karate syntax, code folding, JSON Re-formatting, the ability to run all Karate tests contained within a single folder, support for debugging Karate tests within the IDE. Let's take a look at each feature individually, starting with Autocomplete. We can use the Autocomplete feature of the Karate plugin to get help and suggestions when writing our Karate tests. So I'm writing a Karate feature file here, and so far I've just defined that it's a feature file and I've set a couple of background parameters. I now want to continue writing my test, but by using Autocomplete. So to bring up Autocomplete, I just press Ctrl and space on my keyboard, and this brings up suggested Karate keywords. So here I'll just choose scenario, and then I'll enter a name for my scenario. I'll go to the next line, and I'll press Ctrl and space again for the next suggested Karate keywords. And this time I'm going to choose given. I'll press Ctrl and space again for the next suggested keyword. And this time I'll choose path. So now I can just type in the path of my API that I'm calling. I'll now go to the next line, bring up Autocomplete again with Ctrl and space. This time I'll choose when, press space, bring up Autocomplete again. This time I'll choose the method. This autocomplete functionality can significantly help you to remember the Karate syntax and the main keywords. The next feature of the Pro version of the Karate plugin is the ability to collapse sections of code to make it easier to deal with large feature files. The feature file we're looking at here is large with a bunch of different scenarios in it. Thanks to the Karate plugin, I can fold and hide any of these scenarios to hide the code contained within them. Naturally, this makes it much easier to work with any large Karate feature files that you have. The next feature of the plugin is JSON Re-formatting. This feature is important because developers will often obtain JSON from logs and other sources, then cut and paste this directly into Karate tests. In this file, we have a small blob of JSON with just 3 entries. Say we want the JSON to go onto multiple lines. We can click on the light bulb and then click on Make Multi-Line. We could also simplify this JSON and remove all the double quotes so that it's much easier to read, but still works as you would expect in Karate. So to do that, we can again click here, click on the light bulb, and then click Simplify JSON. Or if you want to put it back to what it was before, you can choose Format JSON, and it will return to the standard JSON formatting. We can also put all the JSON back onto a single line. Let's say we wanted to add a more complex blob of JSON. So let's remove this small bit of JSON first. Then on a new line, I'm going to add 3 double quotes, and these are going to hold the JSON. And then I'm going to paste in my large blob of JSON here. So the first thing we'll do is we'll use the plugin to format this JSON. So I'm just going to click on the light bulb here, click on Format JSON, and the JSON gets formatted nicely for us. Or again, as we saw before, we could even simplify this JSON. So again, click on the light bulb, click on Simplify JSON. And if we wanted to, we could even put it all onto a single line. The Karate plugin gives you the ability to easily run every Karate test contained within a single folder. Let's say you wanted to run every Karate test inside this simple folder. Thanks to the Karate plugin, you can simply right-click on the folder and choose Run Karate Tests. And as simple as that, the Karate plugin will execute all the tests contained within that single folder. Another important feature of the Pro tier of the Karate plugin is the ability to debug Karate tests directly in Visual Studio Code. Let's say we wanted to debug this Karate test. So I'm going to add a few breakpoints to the test by clicking here, and then I'm going to click Debug to start running the test in debug mode. We can see that the test has stopped at the breakpoint that we set. So we can now click Step Over to go to the next line of the test. And we can see that the in-scope variables have been updated, and we can browse through them here like so. can step forward again to go to the next line. We can also step backwards. And again, we can see how the scope gets updated as we move to different points of the test. This feature is incredibly useful if you need to debug your karate tests and pinpoint any issues that you might be experiencing. The Karate Visual Studio Code plugin is in a state of constant development. As well as all the features you've seen in this video, additional new features are regularly added. You can read about and check the status of all these features in the documentation. Karate also offers Pro and Enterprise users integration to asynchronous protocols, including Kafka, gRPC, WebSocket, and Webhook. Again, please refer to the documentation website for further information.